Okay, so let us continue. I have been able to open the document. Now, if you remember in our previous class, one of the things we said is that whenever you are writing, the last part you are supposed to write is your abstract. Your abstract doesn't come first because you have not concluded your research. All right, so we are going to clean off the abstract section of your work. Okay, we're going to clean up the abstract section of your work. Now, if you also remember in the last class we had, I told you that academically, if you are writing, your font should be 12, your font style should be Times New Roman. So I will be making those corrections so that you can see on the go. Alright, so Times New Roman 12. Then your line spacing for academic writing purpose for research is supposed to be 2.0. If you are writing assignment, it's supposed to be 1.5. Alright, so I'll make that correction also. Now, if you note everything I am doing, the work is becoming cleaner. Right, if I go backwards and you look at what you have initially and what you have presently, you will note a difference between all of them. Okay, so the little changes I've made just now have made everything look cleaner and better, right? Then I also said in our previous class that the title of your work should come in the first page, right? Now, remember, you have not concluded the research. So imagine if you end up printing this work and showing it to somebody, or maybe your roommate or somebody sees it. One of the first things your roommate, friend, or whoever sees this work will ask is, what are you writing on? What are you writing about? Okay. Now, if you don't have the title of your work on the first page, the person will have to ask you personally. All right. So to avoid that mistake, in your first page, you are supposed to tell us the title of your work. So here before us, we have impact of decentralization on public service delivery at the local government level, a case study of Ijebu North local government area. All right. Now, so this is it. This is your title, so it should be on the first page. Then also the author. You are the author of this work, so you should make sure it is written that you are the author. So you write your name, Aditunji, right? So you write your name, you write your surname, you write your reg number. Then you also go ahead and write your supervisor's name. If he's a doctor, you specify. A prof, you specify. Whoever he is, whoever she is, you also specify. All right. Then, if you like, you can include the month and the year. If you are in June or July, just like we are in July, you include July 2023, so that whoever is going through the first page of your work will know that this work is current and it was written just this year. Okay, so these are part of the things we covered in the first class. Okay, so for the title of your work, if you like, you can capitalize everything. Okay, capitalize everything and then make sure it is bold. Okay, also for your name, reg number, supervisor's name, all of those things, you can just bold everything. Okay, just to make a statement that this is actually the title of your work. Are we together? So this covers the part that we have done before, right? Now, I said I'm going to be doing everything scattered. I'm just showing you how you can go about it. So it's going to be a bit scattered. It's going to be a bit scattered. Okay, it's going to be a bit scattered, but just watch and learn how I take everything step by step. Alright, so this is your chapter 1. Now, I said you can be formatting your document on the go. So for instance, these two parts, okay, you can specify. If you notice on my left hand pane here, there's a navigation bar. Alright, if you want to access the navigation bar, what you need to do is simply, if I turn it off, your normal Microsoft Word looks like this. Okay, to pull up the navigation bar by the left screen, what you need to do is to click on the find. When you click on the find, you see there will be a navigation bar, right? Now when the navigation bar comes, there's heading, there's pages, there's results. So just leave it on the headings, then the title of the chapter and the subtitle of the chapter, just highlight them and say update to match selection. Okay, you see, so both of them are now part of the headings. They are bearing heading 1. All right, so I'm going to bolden them, as you can see. So you see the work is coming out finer and clearer and more professional as you proceed. So then I'm going to specify the font, the line spacing to be 2.0. Okay, 2.0, you see. Then I'm going to clean the space in between these two, right? Now your background should be 1.1. Alright, then make sure that this is bold. Okay, so this is how to go about it. So first of all, we have done the cover page. If you click on this guy, it takes you to the cover page. Alright, it takes you to the cover page. This is the cover page of your work. Then this chapter 1 takes you to chapter 1, introduction takes you to the introduction. Then the background of the study, it should be your heading 2. So you click option and then you say update heading to match selection. So you have a heading 2 right now. So if you go back to the navigation pane, you already notice that you have chapter 1, chapter 2, introduction, and then background of the study, right? So you see that your work gradually is becoming cleaner. Okay, now we are going this way because you have already started something on your project, but there are people who haven't started and they want to start. Okay, so the way you start is, if you've never started anything concerning your project, you specify the cover page, then you now go ahead with the background of the study. Okay, now if you have all of the headings available to you, let's say statement of the problem, let's say objective of the study, if you have all of those things available, then you can go ahead, right? You can go ahead and specify them so that it will appear here on the navigation pane. All right, so I'll go back and then do the correction. Okay, so for those wondering how would they start their project, how would they start writing, one of the first things to do is to format your documents properly. Okay, so remember, background of the study is 1.1, so statement of the problem will be 1.2, right? Is 1.2, is 1.2. You highlight everything and then say update heading to match selection. So you see that background of the study is now the second one here, right? Then you can also clean the spaces here. Okay, then make sure that it is bold. Alright, then we can go to the next one, which is the objectives of the study. The objective of the study should be 1.3. Okay, so you do the same thing, make sure it is bold, make sure it is bold, and then say update heading to match selection, right? 1.4, the same thing, 1.4. Let me pull up on-screen keyboard. Okay, 1.4, right? So 1.4, 1.4, make it bold, update heading to match selection, right? Okay, for schools that have a research hypothesis, for my school, it is not compulsory to have a research hypothesis for undergraduate level. Okay, so most times you wouldn't see it in my school, but since yours have this, it means that it is required of you. All right, so what you have to do is you also highlight the research hypothesis and then say update to match selection. Then you also bold in. You go ahead and do it for all of the headings. So 1.6, the significance of the study, right? Highlight, bolding, and then say update heading to match selection, right? Scope of the study is going to be 1.7, right? Select everything, and then bolding, right? And then also say update heading to match selection, update heading to match selection, right? Then the next one is 1.8. I don't know your school, but I'm seeing organization of the study here. I don't know what it's supposed to carry, but I'll follow what we have been doing and then make it 1.8. If you have it, it means that it is important to you or to your school. Then the last one, which is 1.9. Okay, 1.9 is supposed to be definition of terms. Okay, in my own school, it is not definition of terms, it is operational definition of terms. So you see differences in schools determine what you have as your headings. Okay, in case you are writing for somebody, okay, maybe from another different school, one of the first things you should ask the person is, give me the document that specify how you should go about writing your chapters. If the person does not give you that document, at the end of the day, you might have wasted effort. So ask for the document before you start the work. Okay, in my laptop I have several documents like that from different departments specifying how they want their research to be written. Okay, now then the last part of this, according to my school, you have references as the last section. References as the last section of your chapter 1. So I'm just going to include it for the purpose of demonstration. When I send this work back to you, you can decide to delete it or do whatever you please with it. Alright? Now I'm going to specify references to be a heading 1. Okay? Then I'm going to explain a few things about what I have just done. Now, if you notice, at the beginning we had a document that didn't have navigation, but right now our document has a navigation. As you can see, we have our title page, we have our chapter 1, introduction, background, statement, objectives, and all of the rest of the things that comprises the headings for chapter 1. Right? Now, this is useful for the purpose of moving to different sections of your work, okay? And at the same time, it is useful for generating your table of contents, right? So I'm going to demonstrate that so that you would see the usefulness of going about this. Remember how we brought this navigation pane was we went ahead and clicked on find and then headings, right? So let's assume we have a blank page in front of us, in front of chapter 1. Alright, what I did was I pressed control, I put my cursor where I wanted to add a new page, and then I pressed control enter, right? So it generated a new blank page for me. If I want to see the invisible things on this blank page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this show and hide, this thing on the paragraph tab, right? So on the paragraph pane. So if I click on it, it's going to show a page break. So by pressing Ctrl and Enter, I have actually put a page break that shifts everything on this page to a different page. Okay. Now, so if I want to write on this page, I have to take this down. All right, so that I can be able to write on the page. So with that said, I'm going to write table of contents. Okay, table of contents, right? And then I'm going to put it in the middle. of the document, and I'm going to change the font to Times New Roman. The font is different presently, so I'll change it to Times New Roman. Right now, if you want all of your documents and subsequent documents to take up a particular formatting, let's say a particular font style, font size, and the rest, what you should do is press Ctrl D on your keyboard, right? Then here on the font tab that you can see here, you specify the font you want to be using. So Times New Roman, as you can see it here, right? Then I'll make sure the font is selected appropriately, right? Then I'll say set as default. So the question is for this document only or for all documents based on the normal template. So I'll say for all documents based on the normal template, and then I'll say OK. Alright, so with this put in place, anytime you are writing something new, it may not give you another different font. It will maintain the font you have been using before. So table of content, I'm going to make everything capitalized. Okay, now to generate table of content, what you need to do is go back to references, right, and say table of contents. See it here, right? So you click on the drop down and then go to what? Custom table of contents. When you go there, you are seeing a kind of preview here. So table of contents from where? From templates. It should show which levels? 3 levels. What are the levels? Chapter 1 introduction is heading 1 and it is level 1. Background, right? And every other thing here is what? Level 2. I'm going to briefly specify a level 3 so that you see what I'm saying. So I'll highlight on statement of the problem, right? And then go back to the home tab and then say update heading 3 to match selection. Okay, so by so doing, and then going back to the references, by so doing, this is heading 1. Okay, this is also heading 1. This is heading 2. As you can see, heading 1, heading 1, they are on the same line, they look alike. This is heading 2. If you check, there's an indentation, then this is heading 3. Okay, so these are the 3 levels I'm talking about. So if you go on the references tab and you say table of content, custom table of content, and then it brings out this, you will say the format, it should be from template, and then show levels, it should be 3 levels, right? Then here it says use hyperlink instead of page numbers. You deselect it, okay, so that it will be showing. You see the web preview, see heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. You see how there is indentation in between them. Then you just click on OK. Okay, so I'll go back to the front page, the page we left out for the purpose of table of content, right? And then I'll just say table of content, custom table headings. Then I'll say use hyperlink instead of page numbers. I'll deselect it and then I'll say OK, right? Now, so you see that it has generated table of contents for me. This is chapter 1, this is introduction, this is background of the study, and then this is statement of the problem. And then at the same time, this is what? Heading 1, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. You see how all of them are going indented based on what you have defined here. So I am showing you this so that you will know that on the go you can be formatting your document and preparing it for the end of your research, so that by the time you finish your research work, you don't need to go and be creating the headings anymore. You have already created it. So if you want to just generate table of contents, by the time you go through what I said under the references tab and then you click on it, everything just generates on its own for you. So you don't have to be going through and say, okay, so thing is on page what, so thing is on page what. Everything is done for you on the go. Do you understand? Alright, so I'm going to remove the heading 3 from statement of the problem because ideally it should be a heading 2. Okay, you see I just change it to heading 2, heading 3, heading 2. All right. So with this said, we have successfully outlined what the navigation of our document. So here comes one of the important parts of your research work: starting to write. Okay, now as I was showing you in the previous class, you can start writing with the help of AI, or you can tell AI to help you to explain the topic of your research, because as much as you are writing for yourself and for other people, there are researches that you may not know what it means. Some research topic you may not know what they mean, because maybe it is not your field. All right, maybe it is not your field. And then another thing is maybe you don't have much idea on it, so you can just ask AI to help you. So I'm going to do that. I'll copy the title of your project. I'll go to ChatGPT. I know you've heard of ChatGPT by now. So this is my own personal ChatGPT. This is my personal ChatGPT interface. Okay, so I'm going to ask it to. Okay, as I was showing you the other day, I said there are times I start the interaction with ChatGPT by saying you are academic writer GPT. Right? Now, when I give it this command, it will now give me a reply that it can help me or it can assist me in my academic writing needs. Okay. Now, this trick is for the purpose of putting the AI in the context of what you want to use it for. Okay, so if I want to use it to do networking, because I'm into networking, I can say you are networking expert GPT. It will now tell me that it can help me with networking stuff. Okay, so let me just try so that we see. You are okay, you hear the reply. You see, yes, I can provide assistance and information on various aspects of computer networking. So this command is just to give it a context of how it should treat, or a context to what you are about to use it for. So we'll go back to the first thing we did and say you are academic writer GPT. Okay, now you see, he said that certainly as an AI language model I can help you with what? With your academic writing needs. So I'm going to say, write for me the scope of the undergraduate research titled, then I will now paste the title of your research. I have to copy it again. So I'll go back to the documents you provided me. And then I'll copy. Right? So I'll put the title of your work and then here. So and then I'll wait for it to give me a reply. Just give it some time. Sometimes network can be bad. Okay, so it has started. So whenever I ask it for scope, it can even give you a roadmap to the entire project. You get? It can show you or give you insights into how you should go about your research. So it's telling me the scope, right? It may tell me other things. You see the geographical scope, right? It may give me several things related to the project, even things you might have not thought of that is related to what you are writing about. When you go about it this way, it is going to show you what you should do. Okay? to na cire ka bari na gama. Alright, so it has given us a scope to what we can use. Okay, it has given us a scope regarding the topic we are about to write on. If you go through this and you are not satisfied with the scope it has given you, you can just say regenerate response. So it will generate another one for you. If you want to copy everything it has written, you can copy it here. If you want to say I like it, you do that. If you want to disagree, you can do this here. Okay, so this is one way to start. Okay, now alternatively you can just say it should write an introduction for you. Okay, so I will do that so that we can have what to work with. Okay, so I'll just say write an introduction. Okay, right, and then I'll click enter, then it will start. You see that? Okay, now you can pause the video and read through everything it has said, but I'm just showing you this aspect so that you can see that you can actually start by using AI. You can use ChatGPT to actually do this for you. I remember when I was doing my own undergraduate research, I would pass the night in class trying to figure out how to write a specific section of my research, you get. But right now with AI, you don't even need to do that. Even projects or departments you don't know anything about, you can actually write their project using AI, right? So for the introduction, I said decentralization has emerged as a significant policy approach aimed at transferring decision-making authority, resources, and responsibility from central government institutions to local levels of governance. The rationale behind decentralization lies in its potential to improve public service delivery by fostering local responsiveness, accountability, and efficiency. You see, so this can actually serve as your introduction. Okay, as your introduction. Let me turn off this stuff to the study. So you can just click option and say paste, keep text only, or you can just keep text only, right? So you see the same thing I copied from ChatGPT, this one, it is now what I use as my introduction. Are you seeing that? So this is how to use ChatGPT and other AI tools to actually look forward, to actually look for how to start, or to look for a perspective to what you are writing about. Okay, now I will say this, now that it has come to my mind, I will say this. There are times that ChatGPT, because ChatGPT does not give you reference for whatever it writes for you, right? Now, so there are times that you will need a reference to what ChatGPT has written for you. In such instances, what you are to do is simply go to Scholar, Google Scholar, this URL, scholar.google.com, go to the URL and then paste what ChatGPT has given to you and then search. Okay, now if you notice in this search result, several things related to what I have pasted here are in each of these research stuff, right? Now what you should note is that this is significant, have emerged, blah 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 blah. All of these things are highlighted in bold, are actually part of what you pasted. So you just look for anyone that has as many as possible of what you have pasted, and then you click on cite. Then if your school uses APA style, then you copy the APA style, right? So this is the reference that if your school requires you to reference everything, then this is the reference we are going to use for this. This reference is the reference we are going to be using for this part of your work. So what we have to do is to go to the reference section, right? I'll put the reference section on a new page, right? Go to the reference section, paste what you have, okay? Keep text only, paste what you have, then copy the reference, the author, go back here and then do this, okay, and put it inside a bracket. Then you clean up the references, okay. So in referencing, in text citation, you just need the first name of the author, okay. So that is why I'm cleaning the initials. So you see Robert Agrawal and Mason 2006, okay. So now we have a reference for this section, but you actually got it from ChatGPT, so at times you have to bend some things, you get me. So you see you have a reference for this right now. Now let us imagine another different scenario where you needed to get a reference, but your supervisor said that he needs references from 2019 or from 2018, right? So what you have to do is to come to this custom range and then specify 2018 to 2023. Okay, so Google Scholar will help you find a latest work. You see, this one is decentralized energy, decentralized accountability, lessons on how to govern decentralized electricity transmission from multi-level cultural resources. So what you have to do is you just click on site and then you click the citation standard you want to use. In my case, it's APA, so I'll copy the APA, go back to my work, go back to my references, then paste it, right? Or paste it this way, okay. Clean the previous one, copy the author, go back to where the statement is, clean that one, clean the first one up, open a bracket, paste the new one, clean the initial, and then you have a new reference. So you are seeing how I am going about this. So this is my personal workflow. So there are some times that ChatGPT will be the one to give you particular powerful statements, particular important things that you need to include in your research work, and you have to reference it. So the trick is go to Google Scholar with what ChatGPT has given you, find a work that is recent, okay, that's recent and you like it and that relates to whatever you are writing, and then you just copy the citation just as I have done. Okay, now I'm going to say something. Remember, we are going to treat chapter 1 to 5, so I'm going to rush a bit so that we can cover as much as possible, but I'll make sure that I say the important things that you need to hear. Alright, so this is how to go about using AI and how to go about citing as you go. So anything you see in a document, right, you should, and you want to use it for your work, you should always come back to the reference section of your work and paste in the citation as you are working, right, and then put the in-text citation where it belongs to. You see, where it belongs to, so that by the time you are done with your work, you don't have to start looking for references for your work anymore, because everything is there intact. What you have to do then is just format the reference. Okay, so I will go further with ChatGPT. So I will say explain. Okay, let's not use ChatGPT for this part. Let's go carry your topic. There are times when the topic you need to break it down. Okay, you need to break it down, or to reward your research topic. So I'll paste the research topic, impact of decentralization. I'll turn it to, instead of impact, I'll say effects of decentralization on public service delivery. Okay, you see that? Or you can even go back and say impact of anyone that works for you. Now, if you're searching Google for documents related to your, work, when you write the keyword you are searching for, the next thing you're supposed to do is to include PDF in front of it, right? If you do that, it's going to return only PDF documents for you. Remember that anybody who has anything noteworthy to say about decentralization must have published his or her work. So you are looking for PDF, not for web pages, okay? So now, you may also need documents that are recent. If you are in need of documents that are recent, what you need to do is go to Tools. After you've put in the title and the PDF part, you go to Tools, just like this, and then click on this and say Custom Range. Then you say if you are looking for works from 2018, you specify 2018. If you are looking for work from 2000, you specify 2000. So I put 200 there. You specify 2000. Right? 2000. So anything you need is what you will do. So if you need anything from, let's say, 2023, right? You do the same thing. So if you are looking for current stuff, this is it, right? So you see everything here is PDF and everything here is from 2023. As you can see, 2023. So you see that there are a lot of things that have been said about what decentralization and service delivery, right? So what you have to do is to go ahead. Yeah, man. So what you have to do is you hold the control button on your keyboard. Okay, then you press on each of the documents before you, so that it will be opening them in a new page, So you see that everything is opening up in a new page. The ones that want you to download them directly, they will pop up for you, and then you can download them. You see, I am downloading them, right? I am downloading them right now. So I'll wait for them to download. Be careful, please. It's working now. Yes, no. Why don't you press my? No. I check out for you. Okay, now you. Yeah, I check out for you now. Character. Alright, so as I was saying, it has downloaded a few of them, so I'll go ahead and open. So the way I work personally is I have more than one browser on my laptop. I use Opera to search for documents, while I use Edge on my PC to open the documents I have searched for. So you see, this is the state of open governance in Africa. Okay, let's just wait for other documents to download equally. But you see, we have opened several tabs of documents. Some need me to go back and manually download them, especially documents from ResearchGate, right? So this is from 2005, this is from 2014, this is from, okay, I just saw the date and it disappeared. Okay, this is from 2023. This is from 2023. This is also from what? Okay, irrespective of that. But my point is, you go ahead and download. Okay, this one is request. So this brings us to another important thing. This document here is saying that I should request for it. Okay, the owner put up this article but did not upload the file for the article. Okay, so they are saying I should request from the owner for the document. Now, what you are to do in instances like this is to check whether the the published document has this DOI. DOI is simply Documents Object Identifier. What it does is it identifies research works on the internet. It is unique to every research work. So if the paper you are looking to download has a DOI, what you have to do is to copy it. Okay? What you have to do is to copy it. When you copy it, just go to this site, scihub.se, right? Then paste in the DOI there. Okay, I'm going to paste in the DOI there. I've pasted in, then I'll press enter. If the document is available, it will show you like this. If it's not available, it will tell you sorry, it is not available. So this is available, so I can just go ahead and say save. When I say save, it prompts me to what? To save the document, then I can open it. So you see the document here, right? Now additionally, you can also take note that in some of the works you are going to be bringing to Sci-Hub to download, some paid document that you are going to bring here to download, some of them will have the reference here for you. Just in case you find something interesting in the document, the reference can be here. Okay, this one doesn't have it, so that's why you're not seeing it, but there are some work that the references will be put here for you. So if the reference is here, it will simplify the process of citing the work. All right, now to the next thing. Remember, we are writing on decentralization, right? So if you are looking for definition of decentralization, one very quick way to get the definition is to say Ctrl F on your keyboard. Ctrl F is find. Okay, Ctrl F is find. What you have to do is you just search for the term you are trying to look for. So decentralization, right? You see, so it is showing you that there are about 17 mentions of decentralization. Okay, so you can be going through each and every one of them and be checking for the what they said before that decentralization. So if you are looking for something specific in any document, you can go about it by just doing this. So you search for it. So this is how to start. First of all, we said you create a navigation for your work, right? You create it. It's a compulsory. You have to create it. Then secondly, you now start by breaking the research topic into bits, okay? Into bits that you can search on the internet, right? So on the internet, it may be possible that finding stuff related to Ijebu North local government area is impossible. Okay, so what you have to do is just to find something like this. Okay, since it is impossible for you to find sometimes something related to where you are writing about, you just look for this instead. Do you understand? So these are ways to go about it. So you can, if you are searching for documents online, you can break your research topic into different bits that will allow you to get relevant pieces of information concerning the topic. All right, so then you go through the documents you download and keep on citing. So if I go through this document here, and he made mention of decentralization. If you notice here, there's a definition of decentralization. There's one document we look for. Okay, it was this document. So you see here definitions, right? So he defined decentralization according to different people across different years, right? So if I want to use this guy, for instance, let me just highlight it for you so that you can see. If you want to cite this, if you want to use this and cite it in your work, right? What you have to do is you copy this into your work, okay, like this, okay, like this, right? Then you now carry the name of the first author, and then you copy the name. Then go back to the document and then search, Ctrl F, and then search for this particular author. So you see that it has automatically taken me to the reference section of the work, right? So here I can copy the reference, and then I can now go back to the references tab and then paste, and then paste, and then paste this. Are you seeing? Or paste it this way. Paste it this way. So you are saying that by doing this, I have included this schema accordingly in my reference section of the work, and at the same time he or she is mentioned in my work as in-text citation. So this is how to go about doing in-text citation and end-of-text citation at the same time, right? So you continue, but note something. If you are continuing, you are supposed to be citing authors as this your work is presently. You just wrote. Research is not written this way, okay? Every statement you are writing should be backed up by an author. It is not you writing, rather you are standing on the shoulder of several people who have researched before you, and you are writing what they have said or reporting what they have said. So you are to cite them. It is not blogging. If it is blogging, you can just go ahead. That is not working. Yes. Okay, it is not blogging. If it is blogging, you can be an authority, but when you are writing for research purpose, you are not an authority until you are a doctor. Okay, so you are not an authority right now, so you cannot just keep on writing. So you have to be looking for people who said several things related to us, to decentralization. So you copy what they have said that relates to what you are writing, and then you cite them inside of the text and then at the end of the text. I don't know if you get me. So right now you are not an authority. Yes. No, you can't. You get me? So right now you are not an authority, so you have to make sure you are citing them in text, and at the same time you are citing them what? End of text. Do you understand? So next, you write your statement of the problem. Statement of the problem is supposed to be the statement that captures what you consider to be the problem that prompted your research. Okay. Now, for this also and many other sections of research writing that I do, you will discover that I use AI to write it. Before I used to use my head, but I found it is stressful. So what you should do is you can create a new document or just say, just write on your ChatGPT. You can just say, write for me. And you can just say, write for me the statement of the problem for the undergraduate research topic titled blah 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 blah. Then you press on enter. By the time you do this, you wait for it to write the statement of problem for you. Now, it is possible that you might not be able to use everything it has written for you because AI is not perfect, and your statement of the problem needs a human touch. So you can just get important bits from the statement of the problem and then include in your work. Okay, include in your work like this. Okay, when you include it in your work, then you can also go ahead and then find other authors, real life authors that said one or two related to a problem statement, and then you copy and paste. Do you understand? So ChatGPT can help you write each and every section. You can even ask ChatGPT to generate your research questions for you to generate your research hypothesis, significance of the study, scope of the study, organization of the study, definition of terms, right? So I'm going to refer you to the video I did before, all right? The video on chapter 1 on my YouTube channel. So you should download it and go over it again. I believe it will give you insights on everything each of these sections is going to cover. Okay, now let us assume that you are done with your chapter 1. By the time you are done with your chapter 1, let me do something so that we can do references together. By the time you are done with your chapter 1, let us assume that you have about 10 citations or 50 citations, whatever you have. Okay, let's assume that you have 10 citations. This is another citation. This is another one. Network. Okay. So this is another citation. Let us assume that you have as many citations as possible at the end of your work. Okay, so if you want to format your citations, what you have to do is highlight all, click on this clear button, right? Clear all format button. When you clear the formatting, then you click on Ctrl J to justify, then you click on Ctrl 1 to make the line spacing 1.0, right? Then what you have to do next is, you see on this paragraph pane, you have a drop down arrow. Okay, you click on it, then make sure that this special is selected to hanging, then the line spacing to single, then you press OK. So you see that it has indented your citation. When you do that, what you have to do is to sort the citation according to ascending, this ascending here. So when you click on it, it sorts it alphabetically. So this is A, this is B, this is B, this is C, and then this is P. You see, it has arranged everything. So this is how to format your citation. Sorry, I am fast because there's a lot to cover, right? Now, so what we have covered so far, you should do a title page, you should create navigation, you should cite in text and end of text as you are writing. Don't ever wait to finish your work before you start citing. Okay, then we also mentioned that you are not an authority presently, except if you are a doctor, right? So you are not a doctor, so any statement you make in your research work, especially in the background, you should have an author backing it. Okay, then for the rest, you don't need to cite anybody. Okay, but this background, you must cite as many people as possible that give different perspective to whatever you are writing about. Do you understand? Then we said that when you are done, you should format your citation, and I showed you how to format your citation. So this brings us to the end of how to go about doing your chapter 1. So we'll take a quick break and then we'll start chapter 2 together. All right.